All right, everybody, we are live, and that means it's time to fire up the box itself. Let's go, folks. Thumbnail says it all. We have ourselves an Xbox memory card. Will it make a lick of difference? Maybe not. We're going to go to System, we're going to go to Memory, and it says here, let's take a look at the NCAA football. And let's go, it says NCAA football 06, all of that. Let's do something simple as 2004, 2003. Okay? Let's go rosters, named and edited. Let's click it. Let's click the copy. And it says memory unit 1A. Copying. And then the edited. Copy to memory unit 1A. So clearly the memory device works. Alright. The next step is to go into NCAA Football 2003 and simulate up some files. Now, look, one of the things that people talked about, don't know if it's true, welcome Asuka, don't know if it's true, is, was reading on the forums, at least for Madden 04, all that, they were like, oh yeah, you have to delete all the named files and delete all the stuff, like clear it out or whatever, and then try it again or whatever, some other bullshit, I don't know. At least by copying it, I have it on another location. If I do delete the files, I also have them online, like the named files. So I've got a few different locations to go through. But we're going to give it a shot, and the fact that it copied over it means it does recognize it. So go to Options, let's say Load. Load, and then Hard Disk. MU Memory Unit 1A, let's go. It works, folks. It recognizes it. That's all good. Game modes, let's go rosters. Let's go to, there's a school called Cal, if you've heard of it. They're going to have this quarterback who is a sophomore, 73 awareness, 88 throwing power, 85 throwing accuracy. Don't ever heard of him. He was actually going to Butte. Not actually Cal this year, but since Butte isn't in the game, I just figured I'd put him on the team that he would transfer to. So let's take a look at awareness, all awareness, and you can see like it's like seniors, junior, redshirt, junior, all of that across the board. Sophomore redshirt, seniors, freshman redshirt, Matt Leinart. So Matt Leinart would be like a future Heisman Trophy candidate and all that. Like he's pretty high up there. So as a freshman redshirt / a sophomore for one Rogers Aaron, I think I put Rogers at 78 awareness. Did I not? What did I just have him at? What am I tripping? At 79? 80 awareness. No. 73. Okay. That just continues to prove my point, though. But we were at 78, right? So we literally have like one of the top recruited players. Everyone else is in their third year, like sophomore redshirt, whatever, senior redshirt, so on and so forth. You're not finding what sophomore redshirt's like a year older, seniors, juniors, like a year older, all of that, juniors, seniors. We're at 74 awareness, juniors, all of that, sophomore redshirt. And so Aaron Rodgers is literally the highest awareness other than Matt Leinart, who I didn't adjust at all. The game, I believe, has Matt Leinart like that. If I remember correctly, I didn't adjust that at all. Because he was so highly recruited and everything. Basically, Rodgers for the same age, for the sophomore / freshman redshirt, highest awareness. And then you look at throwing power, throwing accuracy. I'm pretty sure you're going to find him as the highest, most accurate sophomore slash freshman red shirt. In fact, the highest accuracy here is Phillip Rivers at 92, Cliff Kingsbury 91. I mean, you can argue one way or another if they really deserve this number or not. Carson Palmer 89, Big Ben 88, Chris Sims, Clausen Dorsey, Dinwiddie, again unedited Dinwiddie, and Rogers right there at 85. And you look at sophomore red shirts, junior red shirts, seniors, juniors, sophomore red shirts. Like, there's no one of his age that is equal to or above him. Right? The next highest sophomore is Kyle Orton, and he's one click higher. And you're like, well, he's way more accurate than Kyle. Well, I'm just saying, based on NCAA's rating scheme, I've literally made him the best of his peers. So, like, if you were recruiting him, like, if he were a created player in game, I mean, he's an 87 overall and hasn't played a down of Division I football, and he was from Butte. I think that's pretty fair. Especially, I think he's like a 78 overall in the NCAA L4 game. It has lots of room to improve. So, Dynasty mode. New Dynasty. Yeah, because, again, Butte and the fact that, what is it? Their wide receiver is wearing number 8. Right? Yeah, exactly. If you go here and you go to coaching options, rosters, it is the wide receiver senior redshirt that will graduate wearing number 8, and it is Rogers, who would change number 8 when this person graduated and he transferred into Butte, right? So, yeah, like, it wasn't available, and it's an accurate number for him. And we've got senior Kyle Baller and all of that. And it really doesn't hurt. I mean, he's not even technically playing, right? It's supposed to represent the fact that he would have no stats because he'd be playing for Butte Community College, right? But he's there, he's hiding in the depth chart, right? So that's the idea. Don't even need to redshirt him. Let's go to play week. Let's go to team schedule. Simulate the entire season. While Rogers is not even on the depth chart. Nor should he be. And I'm going to go check on my food in the toaster oven. And we're going to let this run. And in fact, I just heard the ding. So I'll be right back. Alright. Fresh from the toaster oven. Now I gotta let it cool down. Still running. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. What's going on? 3-9. Wow, so great. Lots of comments too. Says Fun fact: Kyle Baller was a starting QB for Baltimore in Aaron Rodgers' second career game in 2005. Also playing for Baltimore in that game was primetime Deion Sanders. Just came out of retirement and still contributed. It's crazy to think that Rodgers and Sanders both played on the same game. That is true. It's pretty crazy to see that primetime Deion Sanders came out of retirement. Wasn't he retired for 2 full seasons? Not just 1, but 2 seasons. Okay, simulate through the week. 3-9. I don't know. Can you look up how bad or how well they played? Congratulations, got Kicker of the Year award. How well did they play? How good was Cal or how bad was Cal that year? 3-9 seems pretty brutal, but who knows? There's always injury simulations and we never know. Off-season schedule. And my laptop monitor blocks my television vision. Export draft class. Yes. Saving the draft class. That is the entire point, folks. Let's go to start new season. And well, we can just test this one class. Fuck it. Why don't we at least see what Rodgers' future looks like according to the simulation? Right? Let's go. It's Patrick, right? But change the name to Newrist. Right? Patrick C, that's your icon, right? Am I remembering your avatar correctly? And yes, let's indeed pray it works. Again, it's something as easy I could just go in and check right now. Right? But what's the fun in that? We might as well. There it is. I remembered. Let's go. Why don't we have the suspense pending and run a few seasons? Because after all, if it does work, who doesn't want to see a few seasons worth, right? Who wouldn't want to see a few seasons worth? A celebration of it working. I remember the biggest issue was, and this is why I think it maybe might work, is because Madden 04 was giving me question marks. And when I was testing with Denny, it said it couldn't even read my hard drive. So there might be some kind of suspicious problem. I mean, like suspicious like foul play, but just like some weird problem when the guy who helped fix my hard drive the last time it crashed, maybe something, I don't know, I'm not technology man, something happened where it doesn't want to even read the hard drive for some of the games. I don't know. Because it wasn't even giving me question marks, right? It was literally saying, can't read the hard drive. And even the thing that I put in the Discord said they were getting question marks, right? And EA allegedly said if you send us like the whatever code inside your instruction booklet, we'll send you a new disc that should be fixed. And in the forums, there's a bunch of people saying like, oh, that was sent my disc and I've waited like 6 weeks for it and there's still nothing or whatever. Like I never saw anyone actually getting their disc back and getting it to work in the forums. The one that I shared with you, just people saying, hey, this is a message from EA, we know it's a problem. So let's go. Play week? No. Rosters. Aaron. 88 overall. 74 awareness. I remember he didn't play, but now he's right there with like kind of everyone around his range. It says sophomore redshirt, even though I didn't redshirt him, the game decided to redshirt him. Fascinating. I did not choose it. Play week? Depth chart? Can we just look at the roster? I'm assuming the depth chart has Aaron there. Okay. And then simulate the season. Let's go. So, I maybe have a false memory, but I could swear I got unnamed, like just like QB number 3, whatever, rosters to work in Madden 03. I don't think I was recording it at the time, but I think I just did it, and then I'm like, okay, because it works, I'm going to name the rosters so I can get them to work. I could swear that it happened, and I think that one of the things I was upset with was Carson Palmer was like supposed to be like a third-round pick when he was actually the number 1 overall pick. I'm like, how are you going to import as like a third-round projection or whatever? I don't know. I don't know what to do. That was a side issue I was having, you know. But I could swear that I got it to work. And I never played this on the on the GameCube because like I only played 04 on the GameCube. So it's not a false memory of the past like that. Wow, 2-10. They did even worse with Aaron than they did with Kyle Baller. Can you believe it? Off-season schedule. There you go, folks. 2 years? Does that feel like enough? We're not going to be able to see what Rogers is going to be like, but 2 years? Turn off the console. There's nothing wrong with your stream. The console is just off. It's the Wild Jeffrey. The Wild Jeffrey has appeared, like Pokemon in tall grass. He may have been auto redshirted. I don't know if they did that. There's got to be something in the coach's options, right? There's got to be something where, since he wasn't in the depth chart, they auto redshirted him. But it's interesting either way. Let's go to system. Let's go to memory. Let's find our way down to NCAA 2000 trace. And let's say this draft class. Copy it to the memory unit. And then the second draft class. Copy it to the memory unit. And now, let's go to games. Let's go to Madden 03, folks. The drum roll, please. Suka made a comment earlier. It says, "Well, guess we can blame Kyle Baller for going 3-9. Even this game hates Rogers too, going 2-10. I'm sure he didn't exactly have a bunch of teammates around him. And it wasn't until Rogers' final year that he got like first year freshman or whatever, Marshawn Lynch. Like Lynch's first year was Rogers' last year.
It's in the game.
Jeremy Newberry, let's go! It's in the game.
NFL 2003.
I mean, we know this game isn't so great, but what do we have? Game modes. Franchise. New. And why not be the Bears? I say, why not? You know how nice it is that this game has the preseason? Madden 02 does not have the preseason. At the same time, how much of a waste of time is it? It's just simulate 4 games for your players to get hurt. Right as I was going to say that, they got hurt. I couldn't even finish my sentence before they got hurt. And then you have to manage like your depth chart and all that stuff. There's a little progression, which is nice. I don't know if this has like 4-week progression or end of year progression. I forget. Let's go. The schedule of the teams. Yeah, the other I guess it's not new to this game. It's still pending for 04 with NCAA. Being able to watch games that are not your team, right? I believe Madden. I don't remember if 02 has this or not. I think that's a problem with 02. Yeah, I think that's the other problem is I am not able to show you the other games in 02 because you can't select them. That's another little feature that's important to 03. But they didn't put it in NCAA 03. You can only watch the games that your team has. It's not until 04 that we get that. Crossing all the fingers, all the T's, dotting all the I's. Look at that win streak at the end, huh? Nice little win streak there. A little 9-7. A bunch of teams, coaches resigned. But 9-7 wasn't good enough to make it. Simulate the playoffs. Raiders, Rams. Hey, that's Kind of the Super Bowl they were expecting to get, if not for the Tuck rule, right? And Rams just roll the Raiders. Import draft class. This is what it's all about for. And there it is, folks. No files. Not even on memory at Unit 1A. The 60 Solus, the $20, more or less. It works. It's not going to waste. It does not register the files, even though they're there. Even though they're there, it registers the disk. But you can't say I didn't try, folks. You can't say I didn't try. I don't know what to do. NCAA 2003 Xbox import draft class, no files. Yeah, Neoseeker, December 30th, 2002. Let's go. Sources. Create a source. Display capture. Display capture. Automatic. Automatic. Like that. I mean, I'm sure you could see it correctly, but let's just kind of adjust. Like that. Like that. And it says importing draft classes. Xbox is the console, the one in bold. Recently bought, and this is December 30th, 2000 and whatever, 2? Yeah, 2002. Recently bought Madden 03. You have NCAA 03. Save my roster, but when I click import draft class, it says I have no files. They're like, oh, you have to play for the whole season, and after the season, it'll show you the players leaving. Press the button. Yeah, that's for the PlayStation. It seems like it's a really silly question, but how do I blah, blah, blah fix that? You have to adjust the names. You can't, blah, blah, sorry, so just a Shark port. All that Shark port's not what it is. We're talking about an Xbox. You bought the PS2, whatever. Get a Shark port. Like, no, that's not it, folks. Yeah. And then this is the same website. Yeah, I have Madden 03, and if I want to send my classes to Madden 03, yeah, in NCAA. At the end of the season, you at the end of your season, whenever you're at the screen, once you've imported. Type to spin hours, just jamming, blah, 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 whatever. That's, I mean, we're talking about the old school stuff, right? NCAA 2003 Xbox rosters. I think this is probably my post. Yup, this is me saying, hey, I got the files, and people are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, the original Xbox, folks. Why can't I load my files? No. 2007, that's not relevant. Draft class editor. How do you import 2011? NCAA 03, whatever, whatever. Folks, it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. You say, well, I'm definitely getting a PS2 for sure, then staying away from the Xbox. Yeah. When it comes to 03 and 04, even 05, that is the issue. Well, we know the answer. We know that it wasn't a waste of my money because the device physically works. But we also know that if you want to do imported classes, stay away. So, I hope this wasn't a waste of y'all's time. Hope you still enjoyed it. But there's still a value, there's still a fun factor of just running this because we have the side issue of, right, the $1 billion off-season shared revenue. Player salary caps don't go up, or like the players don't ask for higher salaries and all that. We've seen that 05, 06, 07, 08. So like these games are like fundamentally broken, and you have to like have house rules, I guess, or something to not just like break them, but we saw Dying Chais, and then on my channel too, 05, 6, 7, 8 are just fundamentally broken as a franchise once you get a few years into it. And 03 and 04, I can't import draft classes. I'm going to have to figure out a way on my PS2 device to get that going. You know, if you're willing to stay with me for a few minutes, not like I have Madden games on the damn thing, but I don't know. Probably don't want to fuck with it right now. Probably just don't want to fuck with it at all right now. Probably want to fuck with it later. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna end the stream, folks. Yeah, I see the comment, Asuka. Just your Xbox just hates Aaron Rodgers. Well, you know, it is what it is, right? To make a Niner and Packer comment, but it was worth a shot, and it still functions. So I feel like I'm not completely out money. Not like I've gonna be taking the controller anywhere to switch files with a friend, but it's not a bad backup. And thank you for being here. I think I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to have the food that I made. And maybe we start up another stream later or whatever. Maybe I try to mess with my PlayStation. I try to look at how to install games and stuff. But that looks like that's my next step. Is installing 03, 04 onto the PS2. And installing roster files. And get that to work. So that's on my to-do list. Thank you so much, folks. See you next time.